me introduce Orestes a little bit. His title for this is Work or Study. And his intro is Have you ever felt stuck and did not know what path to take in life? Our keynote speaker was born in Havana, Cuba, and as a refugee in the inner city of Miami, he was lost and felt stuck. Then he discovered the secret to living a happier life by finding a job that he loves. You too can discover a job that you love and have more fun, make more money, and have more freedom. This Cuban refugee became the first in his family to attend college, served in the US Navy as a medical officer, and became a family physician. Today, Dr. Orestes Gutierrez promises you that you will learn the secret to fulfilling your dreams. During this inspiring presentation, Dr. Orestes Gutierrez, aka Dr. OG, will answer your questions that you placed in the chat. Please give a warm virtual welcome to Dr. OG. Welcome.
Greetings. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
Great. Can you imagine being raised in the inner city of Miami with those initials, OG? Those were some awesome initials to be raised with. Now, I thought I was cool with those initials in the inner city of Miami. I thought I was tough, but there was one person that was cooler and tougher than I was. That was my dad. He was the real OG. In fact, his name is Oreste Gutierrez, and I'm Oreste Gutierrez Jr. My dad, one day in Miami, I was just goofing off, fooling around. And my dad wanted to have a talk with me. My dad had these big, gnarly hands from working so hard. He had calluses all over his hands. He built our house in Cuba from scratch, brick by brick. I was fooling around. He said, come here. He said, ¿Tú quieres trabajar duro como yo o tú quieres estudiar? You want to work hard like me or do you want to study? I looked at him, I was like, what do you mean, Dad? What are you talking about? And then he goes on to tell me a story. When he was in the 5th grade in Cuba, his dad asked him that very question. ¿Tú quieres trabajar o tú quieres estudiar? And my dad tells me that he had to work because he had no other option. He had to work. He dropped out of school in the 5th grade. And my dad told me, son, in America, you have the opportunity to study. You don't want to work hard like me. You're not going to believe what I told my dad. What I told my dad is going to surprise you. I told my dad, I don't want to work and I don't want to study. I want to be a baller. I'm going to go straight to the NBA. Because I was really good too. I had a unstoppable J. I had a left hand, I had a right hand, and I was going to make it. I was going to be the first Cuban Michael Jordan. I was going to be the next LeBron James. And that was my dream. Both of my parents divorced, and I started hanging out with the wrong crowd. And then my mom, who, by the way, my mom is the coolest and toughest mom in the entire world. But my mom forgot to tell me about the basketball tryouts. So how was I going to make it to the NBA without going to the tryouts? And my friend Rico one day at school said, hey man, you're not on the basketball team. You forgot about the tryouts. I said, man, you crazy, no way. After school, I went to the park, Cagney Park, and the entire basketball team was there. And I walk up there, and Coach Davis, who's a Greek god of a man, he looks down on me and says, where you been, man? I looked up at him and I said, I guess I forgot about the tryouts. And then he said, he gave me the basketball. He passed me the ball. He said, if you can beat that one kid right there, then you're on the basketball team. All the kids gathered around in a circle. And what do you think happened? I took him to school. When I scored on that one kid, all the team members said, ooh. Coach Davis got mad. He said, "You beat him." And I kept beating kid after kid. And all the basketball team was saying, "Ooh." And of course, since I was a baller, I made it on the basketball team. Now, this was my dream. I was so certain that I was going to go to the NBA. Now, I want to take a pause for one moment. And I want you all to share, what dreams and goals do you have? You can type it in the public chat so that we can all see. And if you currently don't have a dream or goal, what right now is something that you love to do? Something that brings you joy, something that brings you happiness. It could be anything. I'll give you a few moments to type it in the chat. Unfortunately, for me, my NBA dream was crushed. And by the way, my dream wasn't crushed by a player. It was crushed by mathematics. The story I'm going to share with you may shock you and surprise you. But the next season, the coach, before the trials, it was a crowded cafeteria. It was like a zoo. And the coach grabbed the megaphone and said, "You got a better chance of winning the lottery than going to the NBA." So I thought about this for a moment. I wasn't too good at math at that point in my life, but I realized I didn't know anybody who won the lottery and became a millionaire overnight. Also, I didn't know a professional athlete who was rich and famous. So I thought this was extremely rare. And at that point, when I was changing my dreams and goals, I can see my dad's gnarly hands and his voice in my mind saying, "¿Tú quieres trabajar duro o tú quieres estudiar? You want to work hard like me or do you want to study?" So I decided I need a backup plan. So I said to myself, I'm going to do what all short Cubans do from the inner city of Miami. I'm going to go straight to the major leagues. So then I was so obsessed with my major league dream, I started taking 500 swings with the baseball bat every day. Indoor, outdoor, it didn't matter. This was my passion. I was going to go straight to the major leagues. There was one problem though, and it was a very big problem. I used to sleepwalk. And when I get obsessed with something, when I sleepwalk, I try to do that thing. So naturally, one day at 3 a.m, my grandmother was visiting from Cuba, and she was sleeping in the sofa couch in the living room. At 3 a.m, I wake up. I don't remember this, by the way, but I wake up, and I don't know how I'm able to see sleeping. I can see my bat in the living room. I grab my bat, and what do you think I start doing in the living room when I'm sleepwalking? I start taking massive, massive cuts. And then all of a sudden there's a bang, and I put a hole in the wall. And my grandmother, Goyita, wakes up and says, "Oretico, ¿qué tú haces?" And I was like, put the baseball bat down, and I went back to sleep. And I don't even know what happened, but it's a true story. I was pursuing my passion. And then one day, reality sunk in. I found myself on the bench of the baseball team, and I realized I'm not going to make it to the major leagues. At this point, it was a little bit too late out to go to college. I got in trouble with the law. I lost my way. I was going to end up in the streets, in jail, or even worse. Who knows? I was not going to go to college. I had to do something, so I enlisted in boot camp. And I thought to myself, gosh, and I heard my dad's voice in my mind again. You want to work hard like me, or do you want to study? And at this point, it was too late. I said to myself, I'm going to have to work hard. Like I see my mom and dad working so hard, working 2 or 3 jobs, Monday through Friday, even Saturday and Sunday, I would see my parents work. I said, I guess that's my destiny, working hard, lost my opportunity. I don't have to work hard just to make a living, just to pay the bills. So imagine this scene. I'm stuck there in the inner city of Miami on a cramped one-bedroom apartment. I'm looking at the wall. There's a hole in the wall, and I got these rejection letters scattered all over the place. And at that moment, and I can smell the rice and beans my mom's cooking from the kitchen. At that moment, the phone rings, and it's from college. My mom says, "Oretico, teléfono." So I pick up the phone, and it's a Dr. Jones from Florida International University. And she says, "Now I know you have a low GPA and a low SAT score, but I think you got what it takes to go to college and be successful." I put the phone down and I looked at my mom. I'm like, "Mom, I'm going to college. I'm going to college." I was absolutely thrilled that I had an opportunity to pursue a higher education. That call transformed my life forever. I was the first in my family to go to college, got a double major in biology and philosophy, graduated magna cum laude on the dean's list, became a US naval officer, got into medical school, and now I'm a family physician, all because somebody said those words, all because somebody believed in me and said, "You got what it takes." Now I'm here today to tell you that I believe in you. You got what it takes. Your parents believe in you. Mrs. Fernandez believes in you. The entire SAIL team believes in you. You've got what it takes to go to college and be successful.